Good morning, HD. Welcome to chapel, and I look forward to seeing you next week. I was thinking about a low point in my life. I recall I was surfing social media, and a friend of mine had posted just the words Exodus 14:14. So I looked it up. Exodus 14:14 says this: "The Lord will fight for you. You need only to be still." And then I looked up the full story, and it was a story I knew quite well. You might also. It's about Moses parting the Red Sea. So let me give you a quick background here. Moses and his people, the Israelites, have been under the control of the Egyptians for over 400 years. Moses is trying to lead the Israelites out of Egypt, but the leader of Egypt, Pharaoh, well, he wouldn't let him. Despite God bringing plagues upon the people of Egypt, Pharaoh kept resisting and holding the Israelites back. And after the 10th plague, Pharaoh finally relented, and he lets the Israelites go. And we're going to pick up the story there in Exodus 14, verse 5. When the king of Egypt was told that the people had fled, Pharaoh and his officials changed their minds about them and said, "What have we done? We've let the Israelites go and we've lost their services." So he had his chariot made ready and took his army with him. He took 600 of the best chariots along with all the other chariots of Egypt with officers over all of them. The Lord hardened the heart of Pharaoh, king of Egypt, so that he pursued the Israelites, who were marching out boldly. The Egyptians, all Pharaoh's horses and chariots, horsemen and troops, pursued the Israelites and overtook them as they camped by the sea. And as Pharaoh approached, the Israelites looked up. There were the Egyptians marching after them. They were terrified, and they cried out to the Lord. They said to Moses, "Was it because there were no graves in Egypt that you brought us to the desert to die? What have you done to us by bringing us out of Egypt? Didn't we say to you in Egypt, 'Let us alone, let us serve the Egyptians'? It would have been better for us to serve the Egyptians than to die in the desert." So here we are. The Israelites look back, they see Pharaoh and his army, they look ahead and they see the Red Sea, and frankly, they feel trapped. People are mad and essentially ask of Moses, "Why are we here? We might as well be captives back in Egypt. It's better than dying. Why are we here?" It's a phrase you might have used a lot over the past 22 months. A phrase you may know all too well. Maybe because of COVID, maybe for other reasons. Why am I here in these circumstances? Let's get back to the story in verse 13. Moses answered the people, "Do not be afraid. Stand firm, and you will see the deliverance the Lord will bring you today. The Egyptians you see today, you will never see again." And here's that verse, Exodus 14:14. "The Lord will fight for you. You need only to be still." Then, in short, God commands Moses to lift his staff and part the waters of the Red Sea. The Israelites walk through the sea on dry ground, and then God commands Moses to raise his hand, and in doing so, the waters come back together, taking Pharaoh and his army with it. Not one of them survived. And the end of chapter 14, verse 31 says, "And when the Israelites saw the mighty hand of the Lord displayed against the Egyptians, the people feared the Lord and put their trust in him and in Moses his servant." I'll be honest, I have my moments of doubt, like the Israelites. I have my moments of questioning. And yet when I am still and I reflect on my own life, my low points, my own struggles, my own questioning, my why am I here in this situation, I can testify to God's faithfulness. I put my trust in him because he fights for me. And he fights for you. In Psalm 13, David starts by asking, "How long, God, will you forget me?" And after working through his own questioning, he ends the psalm with, "I trust in your unfailing love because you've been good to me." Now, rather than read all of Psalm 13 this morning, I want to share a song written and sung by Jordyn Beldman. In many ways, this song, it's her Psalm 13. It's called "Do You Hear Me Cry?" I've also placed the lyrics in Edsby so you can follow along if you wish. Once the song ends, I invite you to pray in your class. And I want you to remember Exodus 14:14 this morning. The Lord will fight for you. You need only to be still. Here's Jordyn's song, "Do You Hear Me Cry?"
Step by take your lead